touch, feel it, hear and see. The power to touch, feel, hear and see. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can touch, I can feel, I can hear and see. So much more than a fantasy. I can run, I can jump, I can dance and sing. Believe in yourself and do anything. Believe in yourself and do anything. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can walk, I can talk, I can listen and learn as the wheels in my mind begin to turn. But I'll never forget what you've given to me. The power to touch, feel it, hear and see. The power to touch, feel, hear and see. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can touch, I can feel, I can hear and see. So much more than a fantasy. I can run, I can jump, I can dance and sing. Believe in yourself and do anything. Believe in yourself and do anything. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can walk, I can talk, I can listen and learn as the wheels in my mind begin to turn. But I'll never forget what you've given to me. The power to touch, feel it, hear and see. The power to touch, feel, hear and see. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can touch, I can feel, I can hear and see. So much more than a fantasy. I can run, I can jump, I can dance and sing. Believe in yourself and do anything. Believe in yourself and do anything. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can walk, I can talk, I can listen and learn as the wheels in my mind begin to turn. But I'll never forget what you've given to me. The power to touch, feel it, hear and see. The power to touch, feel, hear and see. From within your mind, no one else can find the life that you inspire. From another place, not from outer space, from someplace even higher. From the stars, from the stars. I can touch, I can feel, I can hear and see.
Hello everyone! Any famous heads of state get indicted recently? How's everyone doing? Welcome to Tinfoil Tuesday. I'm Hannah, your host with the most. I hope you're all excited. It's a little later than we normally do this, but I was hanging out with a friend for a little bit, so you get me later. How's it going? Broha, thanks for 21 months with a 17-month streak. That's the Q number. Zombie Fist Fight, thanks for 3 months. Puka, thanks for 28 months. Bittergrin, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs. And that's it. Cool. Cool. By the way, we have added a condition. I was thinking about this. Level 10 hype trains are cool, but they're also something that has to happen with a lot of people being here all at once. So I thought it would also be cool if for the maid outfit reward, we could do something that's like a month-long goal. That way, you know, there's sort of a thing that people can participate in even if they aren't there for, like, the hype train that's the 10 one. So we're gonna have, like, a monthly tip goal, and if the tip goal, which is the PayPal donations or the Streamlabs donations, if that gets hit, then we will do the maid outfit the next day after it gets done. That way people have notice if they care about that kind of thing. So, that's what that is. We'll tool with it if it doesn't work. I'm just trying something else. Bittergrin, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs. I don't remember if I said that. Puka, did I say thank you for 28 months as well? And Zombie Fist Fight. Did I just blank on all of these? I did. Wow, my ADHD is through the roof. Overthought, thanks for gifting a sub. Meek says, I just watched a stream where Dave insisted to Sarah that he's not an alcoholic even though he drinks 10 beers a day and that he can totally stop anytime. Yeah, that's how alcoholism works, unfortunately. I feel for Dave on that. Don't get me wrong, he's a huge piece of shit and is awful and a misogynist and just a piece of shit. But, you know, my empathy does go out to him, considering, you know, I've dealt with alcohol issues. I know how much you lie to yourself, and that's, I guess, with any addiction. You can really, really lie to yourself, you know? But, I don't know. Maybe he'd be a better person if he was sober more. But Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub. I kinda doubt it, though. He'd probably cook better, though. He wouldn't need as much grease to soak up the alcohol. 6% to level 3. We are doing, you know, the tinfoil outfit thing today. Also, of course, if we get to level 5, we'll do the tinfoil outfit. Love Angel 1337, thanks for 4 months, says, did you know that according to the ancient texts, as I've subbed 4 months in there, and your name is Hannah, it means that Satan personally will come in the next hour to tell you how cool you are? That would honestly be awesome. I wouldn't be upset about that. I don't believe Satan is real. I think he's a mythical character. But, like, in terms of mythical characters, I think that guy gets a bad rap. He's not too bad. He's basically Christianity's Prometheus. He bring fire to the humans, and the fire was the wisdom of moral culpability and moral ethics. That's sort of a redundant. Moral conscience, moral thoughtfulness, at least within, of course, Judeo-Christian Islamic belief. Wand Bonk, thanks for gifting a sub. Mr. Whiskers, thanks for gifting a sub. 78% to level 3. Satan come? Why does this go on to Satan come? No one said anything about come. You can't just bring up come. Oh, it did. You're right. You're right. Chat, get interested in other body fluids other than cum. I don't know, mix it up. Care about spit for a day. Do literally anything. I don't know. Sweat. Literally anything else. What about Bob? Thanks for the $5 tip. The first tip for the monthly tip goal, which gets us, as I said, closer to maid outfit. Of course, we still do the level 10. But this is just a separate thing if you just came in. If we get to the monthly tip goal the day after, I will do the maid outfit. Shabambu! Oh, do you guys want to see some pee drinking videos? Is that what we're about today? Are we gonna do Shabambu? Jesus Christ, Baha! Wow. Alright then. That made it sound so much dirtier than the reality. Oh, that was the point. Okay. It's not. It's not Shabambu. Believe me, I'm a sick fuck. I'd probably think that was hilarious. If that was true, I'd be like, guys, guess what's hilarious? Pee's great. But no. I'm not that interesting. I'm not interesting enough to be aroused by pee. %78% to level 3 on the hype train. Nemesaur Kolboth gifts 10 subs after I said that. I don't know why you would do that. But thank you, Nemesaur, for keeping this living hell going. Do I like horror comics? I haven't read a ton. I've read some of the old EC comics and stuff, the Tales from the Crypt and stuff like that. Modern stuff I'm not super familiar with. I've read like Junji Ito manga. Gnome Pickle says, first time you showed me a Shabambu video, I blissfully didn't know what it was. Now I beg to unlearn this cursed knowledge. Ironically, the only way is to scrub your brain with pee. But, you know, catch 22. 76% to level 5. So close to level 5. And the wheels in my mind begin to turn. I should probably change that so it says April Tip Goal for maid outfit so people get it. Lou is screaming for me. Sad face. Poor girl. You don't remember Shabambu? It's pee. It's people who think pee is medicine. Which is such a stupid thing to even have to fucking say. You know, just that normal thing that you have to talk about where, you know, you gotta explain to people that, hey, pee isn't medicine. I'll one-up ya. Nothing that comes out of your body is medicine. Aged urine. Aged urine at that. True. Hydrate. Humiliated Grapes, thanks for gifting a sub. 93% to level 5. Sec, I'm just changing the... Is it a widget? Streaming hard. Hold on, let me figure this out. It should be under, there we go, that. I will put that $5 back on there. From another place, not from outer space. Beat Poet DJ, thanks for 9 months. That's a sub baby. This sub baby's name is going to be Alfredo Lasagna. Alfredo Lasagna. 7% to level 6 on the hype train. I'll get my tinfoil stuff ready. There was an, I don't know how much you guys like, Hell's Kitchen? There was a season of Hell's Kitchen where a contestant brought on a hand puppet, and it was the funniest thing ever. She would literally do the cutaways, like, you know, in reality shows where they do the cutaways to the single camera interview. They did that, but like the puppet was the interviewee, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that woman got taken out in the first episode That made me sad, because do you know how many episodes they could have milked that puppet for? Puppet milk. Humiliated Grapes, thanks for 300 bits. 16% to level 6. Where's the rest of my foil? You're watching this high mixed result so far? That's fair. I could get worse reviews. I'll take it. You know what? I wouldn't want all positive reviews. You know what gets all positive reviews? Milquetoast Popular Cinema, okay? You know what gets mixed reviews? Shit in the Criterion Collection, okay? I'm a John Waters film. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, I saw the Mario movie's Rotten Tomatoes score. I'm curious. It's gonna be dog shit, but like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be funny dog shit? Probably not, though. It'll probably be very mid, boring, whatever. I heard, yeah, Dungeons & Dragons did okay, which is good. I still haven't seen it, because my D&D group went to see it without telling me. Alright, 16% to level 6 on the hype train. Alright, we can get into the conspiracies now. Why not? You can keep the hype train going if you want. That would be cool. But we're gonna start. What it do? What this video do? Guys, Bob Larson has opinions on Get Woke, Go Broke.
I'm going to be talking today about a very serious subject. I want you to pay very close attention. This is not your ordinary blog, but these matter.
This is a vlog. You said blog. This isn't a blog, Bob.
This must be faced. I'm going to use some very precise language, so I hope you'll pay special attention. In 2017,
yeah, this is the guy that dresses like a Catholic priest even though he's not one.
The Oxford English Dictionary, a linguistics standard for the English language, officially christened the word woke. The definition given was to be aware of and actively attentive to important facts and issues, especially racial and social justice. In response to that,
You prefer go fash, no more cash? Doesn't rhyme as well, but probably truer.
significant words have been used to achieve the woke goal: disparity, equity, and inclusion. When the word woke dawned on the collective consciousness of America, it sounded harmless. Proponents of woke adopted disparity, equity, and inclusion as if these three concepts were some kind of religious liturgy, like saying Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
No, just people, have moral obligations that they feel that they are, obliged to. People have certain things that they think are good. That doesn't make it a religion, sir. You're also dressed as a Catholic priest, so let's be careful with glass houses and stones, shall we?
People who
I think Cass took a piece of plastic. I need to go grab it so she doesn't eat it and die. Cassie. Sorry, honey. I was correct. I heard it. Cats make an appearance on the bingo card.
Mostly had no faith, certainly no Christian orthodoxy, made woke a rallying cry. It became the motto of economic, sexual, and political activism, but as best-selling...
Right-wing people use woke to be disparaging towards progressive or leftist-leaning people, or basically anything that isn't super right-wing, far more than I ever saw it unironically used by anyone on the left.
Author John Ringo recently said, "Go woke, go broke." Ringo was describing companies who
Is that recent? That's been like a meme for a decade
use
and hasn't shown to be true?
political correctness as a corporate strategy to success.
Political correctness, like including gay people in movies sometimes.
Ringo argues that it doesn't work. The public does not buy the artifice. Instead, most woke businesses
The artifice of having characters that aren't white.
have had massive income losses.
Can you cite like 5 examples? Like 5 of them? And then I'll give you about 10 billion other examples where progressive media did well.
Consumers consider the approach disingenuous. They perceive that brands going woke are only using the tactic to appear socially aware. But here is the problem that should concern every follower of Jesus Christ. Woke is about more than economics and justice. It's also about sex, money, and political transformation. With its redefinition of meanings, woke has also targeted Christian biblical values.
Does it? Or are you just a bigot?
Sadly, the woke trend has ensnared some Christian leaders. To them,
Sadly, some Christians have decided that hating trans and gay people isn't a good thing. Shocking. MH Darkbeast says, did you see the new Barbie trailer? Best joke is right at the beginning when she takes off her high-heeled slippers and her feet are still in the high-heeled pose like the doll. I did see this earlier, but we can watch this later. It looks good.
I say, go woke, go spiritually broke.
It's not as catchy.
Let's focus on those 3 words. Disparity.
The thing is, if you're gonna plagiarize, you gotta make something better than the original. If it's just a worse version of the original, then people are gonna be like, "What? That's clunky. What are you doing? What?"
Equality, equity, fair-mindedness, and inclusion, equal opportunity. The words in their definitions are good. I mean, who wouldn't want to fight for equality, fairness, and opportunity?
The entire American right wing? You're literally doing a video. Oh, you're right. I do need to put Boxy up. Good call. You're literally doing a video right now about how you don't like those things by proxy claiming that a bunch of imaginary straw man positions are what woke is instead of the reality. Gnome Pickles says, if it's just a worse version of the original, then you have just created Godzilla 2000. What? You don't think Matthew Broderick was the appropriate lead for that film?
But look closer and you'll see that this tactic of redefining language has historically been a tool of despots and political strongmen. Using
And also just, language changes over time, which is what's happening when we're talking about, like, gender and how we use certain terms and pronouns. That's just a natural change. It's not some individual from the top going, everyone must do this. It's a grassroots social movement to make people more understanding of people who are non-gender conforming or who are trans or whatever. This isn't like a thing that's being like, you must do this or else. It's just like, if you don't, you're a dick. Like, that's life, man. If you don't want to be a dick, don't be a dick. But if you're going to be a dick, just be like, I'm a dick. You can't be a dick and eat it too. You know what I mean? You need to if you're going to be a dick, own it. That's all I'm saying. Profane Priestess says, wouldn't Jesus be woke? He was an anti-state pacifist who claimed to love the poor and told his followers to give up their material goods for the benefit of the poor. You assume most Christians have read the Bible. They have not, I assure you.
buzzwords for a hidden agenda isn't new. Visit the Nazi concentration camp of Dachau, as I have.
Oh, great! We're gonna bring up this for no reason. Awesome. Awesome, awesome possum.
And you'll be struck by the slogan above the entry to the compound of death. Arbeit macht frei. Work makes you free. This is a blatant example of twisting the word free displayed at the entrance to one of the most horrific places on earth. Consider again the three words I've cited. Disparity. That is the sad history of humanity. But only Jesus could make the playing field level.
Stop trying to do things about the real world, because then when you die, you'll get a super special mansion in the clouds. Oh my god. This is literally what's meant by the opiate of the masses thing, is that it numbs people so that they don't become class conscious. It's kind of literally whatever. We're not doing theory. What the fuck am I talking about? This stream started with a cum joke. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, did you see a week or so ago when Tim Pool started doing a Get Woke, Go Broke rant about Disney because there was an article where they were laying people off? Unfortunately, he hadn't actually read the article beyond the headline, because about halfway through it said something like profits increased by X billion dollars, and he suddenly had to stop and go, oh. Yeah. Tim Pool's a fucking idiot. That's your first problem. Robert Morley, hey, how's it going? Says, only Jesus can level the playing field, oh my god.
The total elimination of social polarity is only possible through the cross.
But, maybe we could try literally anything other than what we're doing right now? Wouldn't that be cool?
Where all men are declared sinners, according to Romans 3:23. And
what if I don't give a shit what Romans says? Can we do something about the minimum wage?
True parity is achievable only in the body of Christ, as Galatians 3:28 says.
Lennon Cat says, dictionaries in English are descriptive rather than prescriptive. They don't tell you to use a word this way or that way. They describe how the word is used by people. Interestingly, Spain and France have institutes dedicated to prescriptive language usage.
There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Jesus Christ. Fight real injustice, if you will, and I am with you, but...
No, you're not. You're objectively against people fighting these things because you think it is antithetical to your religious beliefs. You think it's a waste of time because you think the world is basically a big board game that's on its last round and it's all about to get packed back up into the box. That's not how this works. You can't feign like you care about people and then say, but also, anyone trying to help disadvantaged people, go fuck yourself. Ridiculous.
Battles that lead to spiritual compromise of biblical truths is fake equality. The word equity. We know that institutions like slavery were not equitable and never could be.
Then why does the Bible tell you that slavery is okay? Because the Bible unequivocally says slavery is okay. Jesus said slavery is okay. It's one of the things he got wrong.
That is why a civil war was fought that cost 620,000 lives. We also recognize that full equity has not been realized for some. But now we are told that certain groups must pay the price of exclusion and reparations to achieve parity for others. That is social engineering. Reverse racism, not compassion.
Fucking, did he just say the words reverse racism in 2023? Oh my god. He hasn't updated his bit since the 90s.
Scripture constantly speaks of hard work, diligence, and steadfastness as the keys to upward mobility. Psalm 128:2 says, when you eat the labor of your hands, you shall be happy, and it shall be well with you.
Have you considered that maybe the Bible has been used in the past to pacify people against actually taking up arms against those who subjugate them? Just a thought.
Let's look at the word inclusion. That woke word wants to cancel Christian biblical confusions. Prepubescent gender identity, aberrant sexual behavior, ethics of life pertaining to abortion and euthanasia are all part of the woke agenda. If you believe what the Bible says, the woke crowd says that you and I aren't inclusive. You're a bigot, a homophobe, a Karen, a racist.
Yeah, don't be those things then. I'm not telling you can't be Christian, but if you being a Christian leads you to be an asshole, that doesn't mean you get a pass for being an asshole. I don't care why you're an asshole. Being an asshole just is that. You don't get a pass because, oh, a book told me to be an asshole.
Whatever epithet the proponent of woke wants to hurl your way. Christians need to be careful. In the name of compassion and non-judgmentalism, they can be easily ensnared.
Gamer G says, is woke in the room with us right now?
Going woke could indeed be spiritually broke. In summary, seeking equity and inclusion without Christ is doomed to failure because man's problem is sin, not lack of political enlightenment. The social gospel of the 60s resulted in eventual support of Central and South American dictators who oppressed their people. The motto of the 18th century, French Revolution, liberté, égalité, fraternité, liberty, equality, brotherhood, had led to the bloody guillotines. The current adoption of woke culture by some evangelical pastors could lead the church in America down the road to serious spiritual compromise. That journey has already started in some churches, and it must go no further. The words of Jesus in John 14:6 are words of exclusion, not inclusion. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
Your financial support and prayers make it possible.
Jesus Christ. I understand Bob knows his audience. He knows what he's doing. He's doing it intentionally. Line between Chudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday thins on the bingo card, by the way. He knows what he's doing. But he's still an asshole. He's playing to his audience, and unfortunately, his audience are assholes. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, Bob Larson believes in the true equality of each and every dollar that he can grift out of his audience. And Dr. Gamble says, here's a thought. What if the Bible, the supposed word of God that says things like slavery is okay, was written by the devil to deceive you? Ah, I see you've unlocked Gnosticism. Gnome Pickles says, Jesus is the only way to achieve equity, so therefore don't try to fix anything ever. Give me money and maybe Jesus will get around to fixing things. Maybe. Let's see. Only reputable source is the Bible, of course. I'm gonna start shrinking these. Figured out last time that I can put them here, and then you guys can still read what's on the thing, and it's not covering it. Isn't that nice? I should probably get a better marker for this, but I'll do that another time. What else do we have? I think that's it on the first page. I'll count 54 Baja Blasts for the fluid comment. Relevant. Oh, I'll make Baja Blast. Alright. Oh, damn it. That's Hannah Flirts with Baja. Where's that? Fuck. 13. Hannah Flirts with Baja. Fuck. Lennon Cat says, but 1 Timothy implies that Jesus saves everyone, even non-believers. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living God who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe. Yeah, that's interesting. The Bible says a lot of things. KBS666 thanks for 25 months, says happy indicting. No one has a bingo. It's impossible. We don't even have that many spaces covered yet. We gotta look at page 2. Yes, the Criterion thing, as Hannah mentions, Blu-rays. Fuck. I'm predictable. The line between Chudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday thins. Oopsie, moved the whole card. Okay. Satanic? I think the whole woke thing was close enough. So we'll go with satanic. I think that's it. At least for now. Back to the crazy. Guys, good news. Not only did... Oh, cat guest appearance also. I'll put it on next time. But the cat guest appearance spot also. Gina has a new dance video. And it's public domain music. So this can go up on YouTube. MH Darkbeast says, I love the director of Blue Beetle's response to all the man babies losing their shit over George Lopez's joke about that Batman is a fascist. Just wait till they make a Green Arrow movie when he calls everyone a fascist. Like, do they not understand that, like, that's a reading of Batman, is that he's fashy? And certainly people within the DC universe would have that opinion, at least some. It's a joke. Jesus. We get it. I'm happy for Gina. I'm happy for the most part, you know.
Something is going into the sun. Right here. Look at this video footage from Nierka Lopez. She took this image, she took video footage of the sun, and you can clearly see some type of a ship going in it several times during this video, and I want you to look at it, you all. There's something, truly there is some type of a life form, like an organic like ship in our skies, and there's more than one. If you see one, you know there's more than one. Look at this. Look at what's coming into the sun and going out. It continually goes toward it as if the sun isn't what we thought it was. This is video footage in Naples, Florida. You can see that there clearly is something in the sky. Look at that. It looks like a ship. It could be an organic ship, but
Do you know how big it would have to be for that to be going into the sun and it be that size?
it's wild. It's
Doesn't understand how cameras work on the bingo card.
so wild, you all. So again, Naples, Florida, in the sky, going back and forth. It was part of just a really short segment of video where she was filming the sun.
Wow, 250 viewers. I just want to point out, for maid outfit aficionados, if everyone gave $1, we would get maid outfit tomorrow. I'm sorry.
To see if
I'm in a good mood today. Makes me feel self-promotional.
there was something up there, and of course there was. And I think they're always up there. It's just being in the right place at the right time. Knowing, when
How
to
dare I shill for my own well-being? Fuck me, am I right?
take your picture, listening to your intuition. There's something. There really is.
You're all fucked if I actually get hot someday.
Is like organic, like
I was gonna say something, but the phrasing was... I was gonna say something, but the phrasing was terrible, so I'm glad I caught myself.
Ships, and or they could even be some type of being, but it's massive. It's as big as the sun itself. It really is, you all. This is it's wonderful. It's a wonderful capture. Absolutely. And let's see it. See what it looks.
You hear that thunderstorm? If the stream ends suddenly, that's probably why.
Like, I slowed it down and I kept going back and forth. You can see.
Anyway, I gotta share what I was gonna say, because now I think it's funny. I was gonna say, if I get hot, I'm gonna milk you for all you're worth. But that sounded sexual, so I decided not to. But then I decided that's funny. So here we are. I'm good at streaming. I have, what they call, in French, I don't know. So... Gnome Pickles says, if I get hot someday, oh girl, do we have news for you, because you're stunning. Oh, thank you. I don't believe you, but I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I told you guys, I went to that support group meeting yesterday, and it went good. So that's good. Overthought, thanks for 100 bits, says Uwu.
Just wanted to see if we could see anything else. See, that's, yeah. Right there you are. You can see it. It's like a plasma. It's like plasma.
My horny speak summon Sume. Yeah. That'll happen. It's like Beetlejuice.
Is what it seems.
It's like premature Beetlejuice.
Seems like going into... If it's going into this...
I know it's je ne sais quoi. I was referencing a different thing where someone says, it's what the French call a certain, I don't know what. I don't remember what that's from.
Sun is the sun, a portal, really, think about it. It's
Austin
definitely
Powers,
there, you
that's what
are.
it is.
It is.
Oh, I'm old.
Definitely something up there in the sky. And, this might have been maybe a week ago, maybe, or two.
All right, enough Gina. What's the cooldown for saying Beetlejuice? Like if I say Beetlejuice, and then I wait like 5 minutes and then I say Beetlejuice? Is that fine? Or is it like an hour? Or is it a location-based thing? Does Beetlejuice just have to be around? Or if I say it like 30 years later, is it still part of the original chain of saying it? Tea with Goblin says, if you're going to milk us for everything we've got, does that mean we're your cash cows? Sorry, that joke was utterly awful. The worst anyone has ever heard. Time to move along. You have to say a word in between? Okay. Alright. Cool. Oh, Hans has a new video. It's only 1.5 minutes long, but he's making fun of chimps again because he doesn't think they exist.
Thank you to somebody for sending
Oh, I've been talking to Peter, by the way.
me this video. It is
Do you want to hear it? No, I'm not going to share a private conversation.
such a...
I will say this. I told him I read his book. He said he didn't think it's very good, but, you know, thanks. He's not worried about Donald Trump being indicted. He thinks it's part of the plan, and he thinks the aliens might be hands-off right now, but they are on standby, but they're letting humans work their own shit out. So, that's Peter's position as of right now.
a great example. I think I only have one other video that is this good, proving that at zoos, they use people in fursuits to convince you that gorillas are real.
I'm not pressing my luck with Peter, so I'm not bringing up the fact that he owes me a bullet crown. I'm letting that go, at least for now.
And that's it. That's a big secret. And if you're new to this idea, I have a playlist on fake animals, so I suggest you go check it out. But watch this video. It's like they got hurt or something. I clearly didn't pick the music that went along with this. Let's just watch this one more time. When you go to the zoo, you're seeing people inside of fursuits that they're trying to convince you that Well, they know that you already believe in gorillas by the time that they set up this whole enclosure and all that. But that's why these gorillas are always doing stuff to be like a human, because they literally are trained to go up and ham it up for the audience. And they literally go to monkey acting school to learn how to act in these monkey suits.
Can I go to monkey acting school? I think I'd probably be more dignified as a profession than Twitch streamer.
Anyways, go check out my playlist if this is a new idea to you. What's actually going on at the zoos?
Probably lots of animals hanging out.
God bless everyone.
Short one, but sweet. Thanks, Hans. Let's watch the Barbie trailer since someone sent it. This is made by Greta Gerwig, the same person who did the recent Little Women adaptation that won an Oscar, was nominated for an Oscar, one or the other. It looks fun and campy and cute. Oh, this guy is effing crazy. This is a new guy that I found today. I'm real good at finding absolutely unrestrained, insane people. So, got that going for me, which is good. Let's just...
Hey guys, I want to do a video on migrants are clones. Migrants are clones from underground.
Hydrate. Clones on the bingo card. Warning that this is just racist. This is racist. It's basically him othering people who are a different race than him, or from a different country, different nationality, whatever. He's othering migrants to the point that he literally thinks they're not human beings. So be prepared for that. Black's Law Dictionary request. Pornography? I'll find it. I-J-K-L-M-N-O-B. Oh, there's lots of P's in here. Polygamy is in here. Ooh, Ponzi scheme. I don't think it's in here. I'm double checking, but... yeah, it's not in here. How about a different one? Power of attorney, an instrument granting someone authority to act as an agent or attorney in fact for the grantor. Not as interesting, but still. Jake Thoney, thanks for bits, says I'm here for the horrid content. Well, welcome. You came at the right time.
Migrants are clones from underground, son. This is just the way I feel, what I think it is. But yeah, I think all these,
How do you get that vibe? What vibe are you getting? It feels like this guy, it's just racism. This guy's just racist, and instead of being like, man, I'm racist, maybe I have some things to work out, and maybe I need to, like, learn more about other people who are different from me, so I'm not so fucking prejudiced. Instead, he's like, you know what? No, they're not humans, they're fucking clones. Which is weird anyway, because clones are humans, if they existed, though there are no human clones. But, like, who are they clones of? What is the purpose? What are you talking about? Think sci-fi technology exists on the bingo card, and clones. Overthought says, man, there sure are a lot of non-white people that can... I assume you hit enter too soon.
Migrants that are invading the U.S. southern border.
Oh, that can't be right. Must be clones. Yeah.
In Europe and everywhere else, you know, all the white people places.
Do we just have racism on the bingo card? No, we have racist disbelief of historical achievement. No? Racist, though. Overthought says, man, there sure are a lot of not... Oh, read that one. Stone Corbell says, he gets super high and just free associates racistly. Why would weed... I mean, I guess he's racist anyway, but, like, imagine getting high and being angry at people. It sounds awful.
The immigrants that are supposed to replace the white people, they're from...
This is literally just white replacement conspiracy theory nonsense. It's a white nationalist talking point. They've helped spread this as a conspiracy theory in order to justify basically white supremacy and to try and grow their numbers. Because I don't know if you know this, the KKK and neo-Nazis aren't super popular, so instead of just being like, hey, we're neo-Nazis, come join us, they started just being crypto-fascists on the internet and sharing conspiracy theories with people to basically rot public opinion and sentiment from the inside out without packaging it in its proper fascist, like, white nationalist label. They basically tore the label off white nationalism, rebranded it as conspiracy theory, and a bunch of people fell for it. Mr. Whisker says, Boxy is pulling double duty right now and deserves a little something extra for their hard work.
Underground, they're clones from underground. Clones. Ask them, do they know their mama and daddy? And they'll be like, mama and daddy, what? Now, there's a movie called The Island, and the people were clones in the movie called The Island, but they didn't know they were clones.
I own The Island. I've seen The Island. It's a movie. It's not real life.
And that's what I think the immigrants are. They're clones from underground, and they don't know they're clones.
That's basically the... Well, is that a spoiler? It's been at least 2 years. Us. It's basically the plot of Us.
And, you know, there's something off
Boxy's pronouns are he, him today.
about them. Obviously, they're missing the God gene or whatever, you know. They don't have the connection to God.
There's no such thing as a God gene. That's not a thing. Does Hannah have a clone? If I did, do you think I'd be here? I'd be playing my PSVR. No, my clone would be up here talking to you people.
Beasts, you know, they're more animals. So I just want to warn you guys that...
Hydrate.
The immigrants are clones from underground.
Why underground? I'm assuming this is related to the sort of the QAnon deep underground military bases thing. But why?
But yeah, talking about clones from underground, Satan's real, reptilians are real, reptilians,
How do we know you aren't clone Hannah? If I was clone Hannah, I would be petitioning for a union. Probably before getting shot in the head by real Hannah. Hannah's kind of a terrible person.
run this world like a construction site. And the clones are real. But yeah, Satan's real, and Satan copies everything God does. He's jealous of God. Like, his claim to fame, like, he thinks
he did mention reptilians on the bingo card. Gnome Pickles says clones from an underground means they used the good cloning facility instead of the one in the sky, and miles better than the Martian cloning facility.
can compete with God. Like,
real Hannah is a true bottom.
Like, he thinks he's on par with God.
Clone Hannah is a switch. I don't think that's possible. That would be a wild mutation.
That's how he...
Sky Comet says, if this guy is supposed to be the master race, I'm afraid for humanity. Switch Hannah would be too powerful. And don't even get me started on Top Hannah. If I had a clone that was a Top Hannah would be too powerful for everyone. She would rule the world. She would have too much confidence. Pterodona with 100 bits says, International Sisterhood of Hannah Clones.
Puffs himself up, you know. But anyway, God has a race of human beings, so Satan has a race of human beings that he wants to eclipse the...
Would top Hannah top bottom Hannah? No, top Hannah can do better than bottom Hannah.
The godly human beings, and that's what the clones are from underground. That's what the migrants are. It's a, you know, a satanic slave race from underground. And I knows it, and I'm telling you guys, the enemy hates to hear me talk. We'll see if he wiped this or not. But yeah, Satan's race, Satan's answer to humanity is the migrants. That's like his version of human beings.
Hannah gets so frustrated she puts her head in her hands in the bingo card. I've said this before, but every time I feel like I've reached conspiracy bedrock and have found the stupidest conspiracy theorist on the planet, I find more. I find Hans. I find Carl. I find Peter. What the fuck is this guy's problem? It's like Dragon Ball Z. Their power levels just keep increasing somehow. Fenekigami says, what is it with conspiracy theorists and simultaneously revering humans as having some great importance and being unable to be creative enough to pioneer science through art?
And I'm getting some heat right now because I'm over the target. Alright guys, thank you, bye. I want to do a video on how you can tell a tear as a tear. They don't have anything to say. They don't have any conversation. They're not, they don't, oh man, I guess they don't care what you say. They don't care about anything you say, but they're not capable of it. They don't have anything to say. You can ask them a question and they'll just be like, they'll just, you know, give you a shove you off answer, you know, like I don't have to say anything to you. But they don't have anything to say. That's how you tell a tear is a tear. You say, hey man, where are you from? They'll be like, eat your baby. But they don't have anything to say. That's how you tell a tear is a tear. You say, hey man, where are you from? They'll be like, eat your baby. Nah, I just got a tear in front of me.
Eat your baby is what he said. If you couldn't understand him, he said, eat your baby, I believe.
Right now, and I just want to let it know that I know it's a fucking tear because it doesn't have anything to say. They don't have, tears don't have any kind of conscience. They don't have any kind of, you know, forebrain, man. Like all empathy is the forebrain. They don't have it, you know. It's just, boom. All they got is like 1/3 of a lizard brain. So I don't want to say tears don't have anything to say. That's how you can tell one tear. That's how you can tell somebody's a tear, because they don't have anything to say. Because in their way, they're incredibly stupid. Alright, thank you, bye.
Woof. JP Black says, I'm so repulsive people don't want to talk to me, therefore they are demon clones. And Stone Corbell says, is he saying tear or terror? I'm not sure. I couldn't tell either. The orb lady wants to sue CBC because I guess they ran a story on her. Because, you know, she's kooky and was yelling about orbs. So I guess they ran a story on her or something. And she wants to sue them because she's upsetty spaghetti about it.
Hello everyone. Today's recording date is January 24th, 2023, but it's irrelevant. This will be a video that will be used for the next year or two, and onward. I am suing the CBC, and I need your help. This is the first time that I have ever solicited for any kind of funding or support or donation.
Did I see her website where she also wants to stop, quote, race-based law? I saw this. She has other videos where she talks about this. Basically, she's anti any sort of indigenous programs. Basically anything that helps indigenous peoples who have been wronged by colonialism. She's against that. Yeah. Answer amazing. Lennon Cat says, the lack of empathy, I say, after calling an entire group of people inhuman and basically animals. Answer Amazing says, this is a Lawyer Tom video covering a deposition of a man who actually knows some laws and is stopped, arrested, and then sues the officer. Oh, interesting. I'll save that.
What?
Where was that? And then Screaming at the Radio, thanks for 23 months. Appreciate ya. Bong the Ripper, thanks for 17 months.
Nations. Jerry Gagnon, who is my ex-husband, kind of still husband because we never formally got a divorce, but we haven't really been together as a married couple for about 19 years. But we've been best friends all the way along, which is really what we started out as. I love him, his family. He is my partner in End Race-Based Law. He is the political research guru. He is absolutely brilliant. At this point, he is the most prolific and knowledgeable and I guess, yeah, prolific. He has the most information of anybody in Canada on this subject, on race laws and the natives and the history of all of this. Now, we're raising money to sue the CBC and a few people that were involved in the CBC story that was done against me. And on
what grounds are you suing them upon? What do you think they said that was like libelous or slanderous? Like what? I don't know if this was a written article or if this was like a story like on a network. I don't know.
January 20th, 2014. I'm pointing at it. I'm looking at it. It's racially charged internet trolling draws harsh criticism.
Oh, okay. I see. This is about this shit. That makes sense.
This is by Bonnie Allen in Saskatchewan, CBC Saskatchewan. And this was a hit piece done against me as End Race-Based Law. And it says, the opening statement is, aggressive online trolling by Michelle Titler, a Vancouver woman who posts inflammatory comments about Aboriginal issues and people, has led to at least 2 police probes, although the most recent case has been halted according to RCMP. Titler's rants last week on the Facebook page of First Nations teenager Tanel Starr led the police in Saskatchewan to open a file. Star 13, pay attention, Star 13, so they posted her name and her age, was posting updates on her experiences from an early January when she wore a Got Land, thank an Indian sweatshirt to her school. Okay, so that's the whole story.
Okay.
So it says, Titler leapt onto the teenager's page to announce the message of the sweatshirt. And all the adults that were telling this girl. Okay, so the story is that, so they've put this girl's name out there. They're okay, this is very important. They're okay using this girl out there, just like they do Greta Thunberg, putting her out there to wear a t-shirt. She was sent home. She had...
I'm pretty sure Greta's an adult at this point. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. Isn't she over 18?
Or a t-shirt that said, Got Land, thank an Indian, as if she gave someone the land that they are paying their mortgage on every month.
Ma'am, are you really that obtuse? Come on now, you know what the shirt means.
13 years old. Talked about indoctrination of racism. So they put her out there. We had a Facebook page called End Race-Based Law. Of course, the deep state's taken it down. And they sent her home. She wasn't allowed to wear it. And her mother sent her back. Her racist thug mother sent her back. And then she got...
Excuse me? Woof.
All this...
This lady's still... I kind of thought right-wingers and crazy people stopped using quote-unquote thug as a dog whistle a while ago. I guess she didn't get the memo.
Report. So then it was taken to a school board, and the school board told her also that she can't wear the shirt. Okay, they're clearly missing all of the prelim of this, which is CBC fake news. They said you can't wear that shirt, and she wore it anyway. She a third time defied what she was told, and then she had all this support from all these racist native thugs on her Facebook page. Now she was at school when this happened. And I was alerted to it as end race-based law. Someone came to me and said, look at this is going on over here. And I went underneath all the posts and said, you racist, look at you teaching this 13-year-old girl to do this. So I never ever had any interaction with her at all. But of course the whole story is that I attacked a 13-year-old girl. That's how they play it, right? That's why they used her. And anytime anybody wants to attack me, you attacked a 13-year-old girl. So here's what happened. You guys need to know the whole story so you understand what happened to me and my family and why I'm suing these people. While this was going on, someone named Wanda, actually her name was Wanda Probe, she stole my company name. I'm incorporated. I am actually, I won't give you my book, but I'm incorporated. And Race-Based Law, ERBL, and Race-Based Law, Inc. She stole my company name and she added an S on the end to make it End Race-Based Laws. And she opened up a website and she doxed my family. These nutcases who did this story, who phoned the CPC to do this story, Sandy and Louise, Louise Gadd and Sandy McDonald, they're a couple.
All right. Her ranting is enough. Let's watch her dance instead about Donald Trump getting arrested. Hopefully I'll come back with freakazoid powers. Storm is coming. So that lady's doing great. And by great, I mean fuck this lady. Oh, look at, she's got a 2-minute video calling the CBC Nazis.
Michelle Ann Titler here. To use a CBC hit piece against me is to do the bidding of the satanic cabal, fake news, mind control, Nazis. The real Nazis. Like CBC works for the real Nazis. Come on. You can do way better than this. We're supposed to be uncovering and exposing and fighting the narratives of the deep state. We don't go along using them to bash people who are trying to expose the deep state. I'm in Canada doing end race-based law because we have race laws in our Canadian Constitution that were put in 1982. 2 rogue chiefs that have now long since passed, the United Nations used them to put this clause that only one race got inherent rights, and they've long since used that clause to take Canadians to court.
Tea with Goblins with 50 bits says maybe the real Nazis were the teenage girls we harassed along the way.
1,000 times, and to the tune of 11 billion every year. Lawyers and lobbyists and politicians are using these race laws to basically decimate Canada, to destroy our sovereignty. They have no intention of helping the natives whatsoever. They never have. They're pumping Oxycontin and fentanyl into the reserves. All right? They're missing natives because they're going to satanic sacrifice to the politicians. But, you know, go ahead and use the CBC story against me, because that's who you are supporting and backing. People who do satanic sacrifice of natives, people who aren't interested in the sovereignty of Canada whatsoever, in any of us succeeding. Okay, they're on a depopulation program. Their entire agenda is not at all on our side, and when you begin to wake up to that, you will start to actually grasp why I'm doing end race-based law. The natives should be with us on this. Anyone using this against us, she
brings up real issues and then says satanic sacrifice of natives. That's how a lot of conspiracy theories are. They couch themselves within or beside real issues to make themselves seem legitimate. Hydrate. I would say population control is a motive on the bingo card.
Against me. They attacked my family and did evil to us while my mother was dying just after my father had a stroke. All right, I mean, the story is horrific. If you want to hear the real story, you can follow the real story because it warrants a lawsuit, and so follow the links to the real true story of what the CBC did to me.
Okay, I need to get more water because I am out. So let's see if I'll put on a sausage guy or whatever for you while I'm away. Oreo fried chicken. Enjoy that.
Today we're gonna make some Oreo fried chicken. And we'll just separate those creams right out. No problem. That's good enough. Oh, it's a big piece of chicken. Perhaps the plate and bowl are a bit too small for our current objectives. And kerplunk. This is looking good. This is what success looks like. Even coats. Oh, okay. Oh, there's smoke starting to rise. Oh, it's so black. Ah, it's holding together a whole lot better than I ever expected it would. It looks like a really good smoked brisket. Now we're gonna play everyone's favorite new game, Is It Raw? As you can see, it's crusted all over. Let's start here. Look at that cookie outer shell. Here we go! It's not bad. The Oreo provides a nice cookie crunch. There's that rawness you don't want to see in your chicken. The Oreo Oreo shell actually loses a lot of its sweetness due to the deep frying. I mean, we didn't season it with anything other than Oreo. It could have used some salt. It could have used some pepper. But who would have thought that Oreo shell is a suitable way to crust your chicken? So I'm gonna have to give the Oreo encrusted fried chicken a 3.5 out of 5.
I feel like his rating system is all kinds of fucked up at this point. What does he even mean? How is he giving that 3.5 stars? Hi, Kalki. How you doing? Alright, let's see what Cece's up to. In this video, he has a very interesting theory on where clouds come from. Recording in car on the bingo card.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 3:31:23. A couple of quick things I just want to cover. I hope you're enjoying the theatrical bullshit that's going on with our previous president, that is. So the lawyer will come out and make $1 billion after he wins. And possibly Trump will win the presidency because it's going to do nothing but help him. It's just such bullshit.
I really don't understand the sentiment that this will help Trump. If you already like Trump enough that the indictment means nothing to you, you were already going to vote for Trump. That makes no goddamn sense.
I mean, this is to keep you from stop thinking not only about flat Earth, but also the
flat Earth on the bingo card.
Current presidency right now. Yeah, you know the fuck up in the office right now? That's right, the puppet? Yeah, that guy. He's a disaster. Okay? The border is
Is he a disaster or is he a puppet?
Yes.
Because if he's a puppet, it's not his disaster. First name bunch of numbers says clouds come from God vaping, obviously.
They don't seem to be talking about that anymore, and I brought this up before. Nobody seems to be talking about it at all. Cartels are coming through. Now they're saying the Chinese. Oh yes, this is with World War III. Check this out, guys. This is the prediction of World WW3. Right. The Chinese military is managing to get in through the border. Okay? So they're already setting up over here, just waiting. You know, just like the remember the aliens from what was that movie with Mel Gibson? Mel Gibson was in it. Signs. Yeah, you remember? You remember the aliens would come in, they setting up, just waiting for the signal.
Signs.
Oh man, what bullshit! There is a treaty out there that's untouched until 2041. Every single country, 52 countries, have signed the treaty and obeyed. You cannot build, you cannot drill, you cannot go down to Antarctica.
Right, that's what the Antarctic Treaty was that companies and governments weren't going to make any permanent, settlements. They weren't going to try and look for oil. It was basically a way to keep people from fighting over the land and also spending a lot of money trying to settle the land and do anything with it because, frankly, it's not really worth it economically. It's a wasteland. Do you know how difficult it would be to set up any sort of oil thing there, even if they did find it? What? Chris, it's an icy wasteland, literally. But anyway, also missile research. But anyway, you can go to Antarctica, though. There are cruises and stuff. Scientists go there for research. There are research stations down there. So you can go to Antarctica. It's just not common because there's nothing to do there except for science. Chromatic Cuttlefish says, you can go to Antarctica. I've been there. Checkmate, CC. Got him.
That is a bill that was passed from 52 countries.
That'd be a treaty, not a bill.
Single country here is in agreement with it. Nobody has broken that. You're telling me they're going to start a World War III? My ass. Bullshit!
This is the first time I've actually been concerned about World War III, only because Chris is so consistently wrong. The fact that he thinks it's not going to happen makes me think, oh fuck!
Garbage, nonsense, fake news, horseshit. That's right, horseshit. That's what I have to say.
Edgy.
Today's Friday. I'd like to do a Think About It Friday, just in case if I'm unable to produce a video over the weekend. We'll see. It's going to rain most of the day tomorrow, so you might get a little surprise. You like surprises, don't you? I bet you do.
I don't.
Well, here's a surprise. The Earth is flat. That's right. And the sun and the moon, they don't exist. They're not what you think they are. The stars don't exist. There's a surprise.
Holographic sky, moon, whatever on the bingo card. How many subscribers does he have? 3.73 thousand.
I want you to think about the space shuttle. Yes. Okay? The bullshit space shuttle that supposedly went to the moon.
The space shuttle didn't go to the moon, right? The space shuttle was used for orbital stuff, and it was used for, like, ISS stuff. But we never went to the moon in a shuttle. The Apollo program went to the moon. That wasn't a shuttle program.
Back. No problems, no, burn marks or anything like that on the capsule when it lands into the ocean. No heat coming up from the ocean at all, with the heat coming through the atmosphere. See, now that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about atmosphere with you. I want to talk about the trajectory that you have to take in order to get back into the atmosphere of Earth. That's right. Yes, because if you don't do it right, guess what happens? You bounce off the atmosphere. But that's funny, because I have never, ever heard of an asteroid bouncing off of the atmosphere.
They do, or they burn up most of the time. Like, meteors hitting the ground is rare, because most of them are small enough that they either bounce off, which isn't newsworthy, so I don't know why you would hear about it, or they burn up. Why would you hear about that, Chris? What are you talking about? Steve with a Q says, the space shuttle went to the moon. Remember that famous documentary, Airplane 2? Yeah.
So every asteroid
one of William Shatner's only other good roles.
that comes through, breaks through the barrier, the radiation belt.
Wait, do you think the radiation belt would destroy an asteroid? Why? How do you think radiation works? Do you think it's like a laser beam? What?
Miles of atmosphere manages to break through that trajectory, to get to that trajectory perfectly. Because it would have bounced off if it didn't. Wow, man, are you sure? Maybe those meteors might be aliens in spaceships that are actually controlling them. Man, that might be right. Oh, these are all bullshit, ball earther beliefs. Nonsense. Anyway, so how do they figure that out? Oh, they have a computer. That's right. So in 1969, they had this computer that apparently was able to program the shuttle into a trajectory.
Again, he's just using shuttle as a generic for, like, spaceship, for rocket. It's not, but he's talking about the Apollo rockets. Gnome Pickle says, Chris, there are more things in heaven and earth than have filtered into the constantly screaming head, bruv. Chris, the calculations for the moon mission weren't all done by computers. Don't know if you know that.
Correct, so it doesn't bounce off of the atmosphere. And it was perfect. Perfect. Launch. No testing, by the way, either. You don't have to test any of that. No. You also, guess what? You don't even have to test the lander either. Not one single test at all. Now, what would you do as an astronaut? As an astronaut who has family?
Chris's hot take here is that being an astronaut is dangerous. I would agree. But, like, that's why most people don't do it and aren't qualified.
Who has a future wouldn't you be concerned about this not being at least tested?
Chris, you literally can't test the actual moon lander on Earth because the lander has to be as light as possible. So they only built it to withstand landing on the moon. The moon's gravity is far less than that of Earth, and there's no air resistance because the moon doesn't have an atmosphere. You can't test that on Earth because you can't get rid of gravity. Like, you can't get rid of it for the test because you're on Earth. So they can't test that part. They can't do that. They did materials tests and things on individual parts, but when they put the whole thing together, they literally can't test it on Earth. That's not how it works. Luckily, it did work on the moon. We literally have footage of it. It was filmed.
The shuttle that you're in right now, tested on Earth? Nope, the first test was on the moon. Don't worry about it. Because the other tests of the other ones, they all
He's talking about the lander specifically.
exploded. None of them survived. That makes sense, doesn't it, guys? Of course it does. It's NASA. They're so smart. They know how to figure everything out. They don't have to test shit.
They tested in the lunar module in low Earth orbit and in lunar orbit before attempting an actual landing. Oh, okay, cool.
So, also my question is, there's another problem. The spinning of Earth. That's right. It's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. So by the time they're looking at where they're trying to land, that's going to spin 1,000 miles per hour.
Chris, no. You match the velocity of the planet. You try and match it, and then you can land. And also, they're landing in the ocean anyway. You don't need to hit an exact mark. It's the ocean. It's 70% of the fucking planet. Again, I feel like a lot of flat earthers, if they played Kerbal Space Program for an afternoon, I don't know, I think they could maybe figure it out themselves. Argonian Bum says, with unwavering confidence, you heard it here, folks. She admits it. It was filmed. Bittergrin says, does he just think everyone is as bad at math as he is? He does, unironically. He thinks if he is incapable of doing something, no one is capable of doing it. It's really sad. Chromatic Cuttlefish says there was one unmanned Earth orbit test of a prototype lunar module without the legs on Apollo 6. There was a manned Earth orbit test on Apollo 9, and Apollo 10 did a lunar dress rehearsal, descending to the point where powered descent would being it was tested. Yeah, Chris ain't bright. I'm so excited. I know every time we talk about Chris, I feel like I bring this up now. But they finally picked the crew for the next Artemis launch that's actually going to orbit the moon. It's going for a flyby because they're testing, because the crew after that, the mission after that, will be the actual landing. So we're getting there. We're getting real close to the next moon landing, guys. Like, for real this time. I know that's been talked about for decades, but like for realsies, it seems like they're actually doing it. They picked the crew. Anyway, I'm excited for the next moon landing because all the conspiracy theorists are gonna go nuts. And also human achievement and discovery and science, woo, but like, you know, on a personal level.
Way before they land that shuttle. So how do you explain that? Oh,
how do flat earthers explain GPS? Balloons. They think satellites are balloons.
Oh, you're gonna tell me that it's the atmosphere. That's right. So the minute they get into an atmosphere, they get a bump of 1,000 miles.
No, Chris. That's incorrect. It's not what anyone said. You just made that up in your head.
Yes! That's right. Now think about that, okay? You're in this rinky-dink tin can, okay? You're in space now. You're not moving.
Also, Chris, the atmosphere is a gradient. It's not a defined straight line. It's not like in 1 second you're outside the atmosphere and the next second, oh, you're in the atmosphere. It's a gradient. So, like, you don't hit one atmosphere of pressure immediately. You slowly go into it. Relatively speaking, slowly. Yeah.
moving, everything is calm. Of course, that apparently that's what space is like. You know, I don't know myself, but that's what the astronauts explain it to me. Yeah, very calm. You know, nothing's going on.
Sorry, I'm having
You don't
tooth
feel
pain.
anything.
Gamerg with 50 bits says, JFK moon landing announcement, Biden's NASA chooses moon landing mission. Both are only Irish Catholic presidents. Clearly the moon landing is a deep state plot by the Vatican to fool us all. Oh my god, that's gonna get... sometimes you guys say things as a joke, and I think some conspiracy theorist is actually gonna buy that. That's enough of a connection that I would believe we'd see that in a video someday. It's gonna be someone who's claiming, like, oh, it's a Jesuit thing, you know?
So you're going to tell me that at that point,
the calculations used for GPS wouldn't work if they were on balloons. You can program a GPS receiver yourself if you have the right antenna. I believe you. Flat earthers do not.
at that calm point in that tin can that has a wall that has 3 layers of aluminum on it, that's nice. Good engineering, too. I love that engineering. Excellent. Perfect engineers. God, you know, they go to school for this. I can't believe it. Who would have thought that 3 layers of aluminum foil would...
Chris, underneath the lander's foil, there is a more rigid layer. It's thin. It's incredibly thin, but there is a more solid layer. It's not all crinkly like that. Fennikagami says, question, given how racist most conspiracies are, do I think that the fake moon landing conspiracy may have initially gained traction due to NASA actually trying to give credit to the black woman who helped, and racist, sexist men refused to believe that such an accomplishment could have come from a black woman? I don't think that was widely known enough. That's where it came from. Moon landing conspiracies came in the 70s, so it was like pretty recent, like, to the actual moon landing event. I don't know enough about the origins to say it had, like, no racial connotation, but I think it legit started as just, like, a crackpot who was plagiarizing from a book or a movie or something. Because there was a movie that came out pretty soon after the moon landing, I believe, where the plot involved NASA and the United States government faking a Mars landing. And basically the conspiracy theorists stole the plot of the movie, but retrofitted it to the moon. And the rest is history. You can take the moon landing conspiracy and reel it back to basically one book that really, really made it popular. I've watched a video about it. I don't remember the name of the book off the top of my head right now, but there is an answer out there. I just don't happen to know it.
You could survive in space? Yes! Awesome. Perfect! Look at that. That's NASA engineering for you. And put everything outside. Never inside. No. Not like in the submarines. No. You don't want to do that. That's the correct engineering. Do the NASA engineering. Put all the important electronics outside, so we have to do spacewalks and bullshit, because we need those spacewalks. We need to see how fake they are. We need to see your reflections in the freaking astronaut's helmet.
Chromatic Cuttlefish says, fun fact, the aluminum of the LM hatch was so thin as a weight saving that it visibly bulged when it was pressurized. John Young said that made him a bit nervous on Apollo 10. I did know that. I've heard of that. Scary.
So keep them outside. What bullshit. So this shuttle is now landing on Earth.
Was the book called None Dare Call It a Conspiracy? Could be. The name sounds familiar. Not positive, though.
Okay, and it's being pushed at 1,000 miles per hour after coming through space with all this. Nothing's moving? Really, shit would be.
A lot of things are moving, actually.
Going all over the place. But no, they're just a little bumping like that, right? You know, just like an airplane taking off?
No, I'm pretty sure entering Earth's atmosphere is a pretty bumpy situation. I've not experienced it. Probably won't within my lifetime, but who knows? Technology goes fast sometimes. I'd imagine it's pretty bumpy. I don't know, Chris. Making fun of that as a concern is weird. It doesn't make moon landing or anything seem fake. It just makes it seem like you're a jackass who doesn't appreciate the effort that other people have put into amazing achievements. And like, I'm such a cynical bitch. I'm so cynical all the time about everything, but even I'm like, hey, the moon landing, that's a good one. That's a cool one, guys. Like, the reasons behind it were a little iffy, the space race being basically a proxy for missile launches in the Cold War and showing off our propulsion tech and stuff. But regardless, moon landing is cool. Just think it's cool, Chris. Just be a normal guy. Chili being chilly. Oh god, what did Chili do now? I will save this video. Thank you.
It's pretty much exactly like the kind of feeling you feel with an airplane. Taking off, you get this little bumpy feeling. That's all. That's all. 1,000 miles per hour. Boom. Unfucking believable, man. Unfucking believable how...
It's kind of funny that he brings that up because he's not wrong. When you feel the bumpiness and you feel the motion when you're taking off or landing in an airplane, what you're feeling is a shift in velocity. The direction and speed is changing, so you can feel that change. However, if you're just at cruising altitude and you're going a steady speed and the direction isn't changing, you probably don't feel much of anything, right? At least if, there's not turbulence. So Chris, on some level, understands that when you feel motion, you're not actually feeling motion, you're feeling a shift in velocity, but he is unable to connect that innate knowledge to his understanding of the world and how it works on a global, scale. He still thinks you should be able to feel the Earth rotating even though its velocity is consistent. Even though its angular velocity is consistent.
We believe this shit. This total fucking nonsense. Just garbage. Absolute garbage. Absolute bullshit. How anybody can believe that nonsense is beyond me. How anybody can believe the nonsense, how they explain the moon, and how the reason why we only see one side of it. I mean, it's never ending.
Chris, you can see one side of the moon because of tidal locking.
With this, it really is. People have to look into this shit. Okay, if they open their eyes and just look at it for 5 minutes and say that's not right.
Chris, I've looked at it. You are wrong. Citosaurus says, yay, I get to watch some of a stream back from therapy to see you're still online. Hooray. Unfortunately, my therapist is going back to virtual within the next few months, which bums me out, but at least this horrible office experience she's had hasn't put her off therapy altogether. A redneck bar with pinball machines is downstairs from her office. Oh, that seems like an interesting environment to be around during therapy.
It's wrong. Jesus. Fuck. Unbelievable. So it's a little thing to think about. And how do clouds form? How do clouds form on Earth? What?
Clouds form because water evaporates into the air as water vapor, and then that water vapor condenses into clouds.
What exactly? Oh, I see. I know what the scientist is going to say. It's just like how planets form. That's right. If you get enough mass together, that's right. It starts, yes. Yeah, that's right. It starts to collect with each other and possibly even form gravity. We don't know what it is.
I don't even know what Clued Guy's channel was at this point. I have it saved somewhere, but I have so many channels saved, I don't even know which one is his.
Form it. We have no idea, but that's and then the planet is formed, right? So that's how a cloud.
Yeah, if someone else can get it, we'll watch it. Gnome Pickle says, clouds, how do they form? Chris, do you want to borrow my old Bill Nye tapes? Magic School Bus covered this. There was a whole episode about the water cycle. I remember it. I had it on VHS tape.
It's foreign. Remember in one video I told you I've never seen a round cloud before in my life. But anyway.
What happened to the guy who wanted to eat lead paint chips? Wow, I don't even remember that guy. Did he slip me some? Which guy wanted to eat lead paint? Lennon Cat says, magnets, how do they work? Oh my god.
Become a square shape, please.
Someone has, I think, the original Channa. Channa? Oh god. Channel. Clued, become a square, clued. Yep, there it is.
Yo, by T. Chase. See this cloud?
We'll watch that after we're done with Chris.
How do clouds form like that? You know, so you're telling me now?
No, we need it now.
I make videos where I'm able to control clouds by my psychokinesis, psychic power.
Sidosaurus says he's talking about how Wi-Fi causes erectile dysfunction these days. Frankie with the eyebrows who eats rotten brains. I'm guessing he's telling on himself with that one. That's a shame.
I'm making this in, recording this September 2010. See this cloud? I'm going to try to turn this cloud into a square-shaped cloud. Make this cloud into a square-shaped cloud. By psychic power, turn it into a square-shaped cloud. Cloud, become a square shape.
Glued.
Become a
square shape.
Glued. Become a square shape. Glued. Become a square shape. Glued. Glued. Become a square shape. Turn into a square shaped cloud.
Sidosaurus says we watched him on the roundup and he definitely was telling on himself. He asked his partner he was with to turn off her router because he was pushing rope. What? Pushing rope?
Turn into a square shaped cloud. Turn into a square shaped cloud. Cloud. Become a square shaped cloud. Cloud. Become a square shaped cloud. Turn into a square shaped cloud.
He did it.
See the clouds become more a square shape? Cloud. Become a square shaped cloud. Cloud. Become a square shape.
The heavy breathing really sells it. Mr. Whisker says, boner become a rod shape.
Now gas, you're taking the physics of gas. So if you get enough gas together, okay, it's just going to form these puffy little clouds, right? No.
Gas do be like that, though.
You know what I believe? I believe they're probably cloud makers.
Chris has the thought process of a 5-year-old. Listen to this shit, guys.
Right? No, you know what I believe? I believe they're probably cloud makers. Okay, somewhere. Probably, obviously at the edge. Possibly where the dome is. I'm not sure. I don't know.
He thinks clouds are made at a cloud factory. He thinks that somewhere in the world there are little smokestacks that just puff out cute little clouds all day, and that's where clouds come from. This man is in his 50s and he has a child.
No, I don't know exactly how far the dome goes. You know how wide it is? You know, does it...
Oompa Loompas make them? Actually, Oompa Loompas are from Loompa Land, which is very far away from the edge of the dome, as we all well know. The vermicious canids cannot handle the strength and vibrations of the dome, so Loompa Land is safely configured quite far away from it. Do I think he also believes in a rainbow factory? Yes, and he thinks it's woke and should be shut down.
Stop in Antarctica? Do you have to go 1,000 miles after you enter Antarctica in order to get to the dome? I don't know. Is it 100 miles? 1,000 miles? If there's more land, then the dome should be covering that part too.
Stands to reason. Gnome Pickles with 100 bits says, "Oh, cloud making is a joke now. My family has been cloud makers for generations, I'll have you know. My father lost his arm to a cumulus machine, Hannah." JP Black says, "Listen, don't go degrading my profession. Union 151 cloud makers." And Chromatic Cuttlefish says, "If CC were sucked into a tornado, he would totally expect to land in Oz."
So, these are all things that us flat earthers think about. We come up with ideas, okay? It's unbelievable. They can't even give us
Anyone can come up with ideas. Whether or not they're good, filtering ideas is the skill. What if we made Cheetos with pickle flavor? That's an idea, right? Doesn't mean anything.
Can't even explain how clouds form. You know, they give us this bull.
Baha with a link says, "This is wild." Oh god, what is this? Oh, we'll watch that after this.
Bullshit.
The place where clouds come from. Cute.
Scientific garbage that...
Oh no, found the cloud factory.
Some of it, though, comes out the top in essentially what is a big cloud.
Don't show this to Chris. He will unironically start thinking that that's where clouds come from.
Makes no fucking sense at all. When flat Earth is just so simple to understand, you know? It really is. How volcanoes work. You know, what's underneath us? Obviously, lava of some sort. Warmth, possibly. Whatever it is.
Lava, warmth, you know, whatever. Things that are under the ground. You get it. Citosaurus says, "Under the Dome was a pretty rad book by Stephen King. Great character study, but it lost steam towards the end, like a lot of his books. And the ultimate villains turned out to be kinda lame. The character study about how isolation breeds megalomaniacal leaders was pretty great. Only slightly related to the Dome, CC is referring to."
We couldn't go past it. 8.5 miles.
Did they think The Truman Show was a documentary? Some of them, yeah, think it's predictive programming. I actually looked at a video today. I didn't pick it because I didn't find it interesting enough. But I looked at a video where a group of people were in a Zoom call basically talking about how they thought The Truman Show was predictive programming and that it was hiding secret symbolism and stuff. So yes, you can't come up with something so crazy that someone doesn't believe it somewhere, probably. It's kind of like Rule 34, but not horny. If there is an idea that you have that is really stupid as a conspiracy theory, someone somewhere probably believes it, or could believe it.
8.5 miles deep. That's all we've dug. All we've dug is that deep. But yet they will fight and fight us and fight us and fight us about scientism. Their belief, their God. Meanwhile, we know what the truth is. That's why we're at peace. Because we know nothing's going to happen.
Are you at peace? You don't sound at peace, Chris.
In terms of meteors, in terms of UFOs. The only bad thing that happens is that what man creates. okay? And they're trying to keep this idea and keep you indoctrinated as long as they can, because they're hiding so much. See, back in the 20s, they didn't really have to hide anything because they didn't know. But then when 1960 came, 1958 came, and they figured it out, ooh, they really locked things down, didn't they? They really did.
Stone Carbell says it's not a fight. You're throwing punches and we're just standing back laughing at you.
Made us a two-person working household. Made us to a point where we were so busy we don't have time to do shit.
Accidentally based on the bingo card.
Bringing up kids properly. That's why these kids around now are... You got to see the generation of kids now. I mean, they are so different than the generation I had when I was growing up. We had respect for police. We had respect for adults.
Chris, you grew up in, I think, the 70s. I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure every generation of kids and teenagers ever in the history of the world have not respected adults. That's what kids do. That's fine. And a cab.
We had respect for people on the road. Okay? This generation of kids is so fucking lost. They're so gone. They're not going to make it as adults. When they turn 40, they're going to be the biggest joke in the world.
When they're 40, you'll be dead, Chris, so who wins? Fennec says the one conspiracy theory they don't believe in is the conspiracy that maybe the government is tricking them and turning them into psyops to distract people from talking about all the mundane ways people in power fuck us over. Nice. Mr. Whiskers with 100 bits becomes a stream boss, says Snipe.
Anyway. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos.
I loathe people who like look at young people and are like, these kids these days, fuck off. You think you're fucking original? Plato said the same shit. He's fucking dead now, okay? Stop it. Stop doing that shit. Cidosaurus says, have you considered maybe they're finally finding themselves, CC? Maybe they're not lost at all, and you're the one who's lost. Suck on that.
State.
This is outside of the courthouse earlier, where Trump was being indicted, or being rather, arraigned.
All right, so if the deep state, they delete the elite 1%.
Deep state on the bingo card.
All roads lead to fucking where? Vatican and then Switzerland, right? Okay, we know that.
She does have a Q shirt. Q claimed as a source on the bingo card.
Switzerland, that's where the bitch was. When I say bitch, I'm talking about the devil himself, right? And you're like, oh my God, I don't believe in the devil. Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, you fucking do. Because there's the devil. If there's the devil, there's God. Listen, did the devil create you?
I don't believe in God, so.
But the Creator created you, bro. Who created you? Who created your ass? Listen, bro. Listen, bro. There's two. There's the Creator of all creation, the source of all sources. Call it whatever you want. Buddha, Taoism, I don't care. There's the Creator of all creation, the source of all sources. That's it. Bada bing. When you're
Did she just say bada bing?
with the devil, you will not bing. When you're the source of all sources. That's it. Bada bing.
The source of all sources. That's it. Bada bing! QAnon slam poetry is odd. I have a QAnon book of poetry around here somewhere. What did I do with that?
When you're with the devil, you will know it. Because you know why? Because your life will become a total living hell.
You seem to be doing great. Dr. Gamble says CC with a link. Old man yells at Cloud. How did you form, goddammit? Oh, now I gotta pee. Okay, chill for a second while I pee, okay? Everyone behave. There are mods in chat. Treat the chair nicely, and the chair will treat you well, okay? Take it away, chair. Hydrate. What did I miss? Cloud Wizard says chair time, and Gnome Pickles says, chair, my master, how may I serve you? Oh no, chair, we can't do that. Who would clean up the mess? Not sure which way to take that. Dr. Gamble says this is what happened to us, Hannah, while you were gone, but with the chair instead of bucket. Stanley Parable 2 Ultra Deluxe. I'm not gonna play that whole clip though. It goes on for fucking ever. But I got that ending. It's a Red Dwarf reference. Jamie says, what is that? Outer Wilds? No, that's Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
The last few weeks they spotted in the solar system, quote on solar system. But I follow Book of Enoch, not the 2 sequels, but the beginning one. And that's like the basis to my beliefs. Like,
can I ask
religiously.
something, MC? Hey, MC.
Yes.
Like, so you were saying that the flat Earth is like a lower frequency, stuff.
Well,
Can you
forgive
elaborate
me.
on it a little bit?
I'm not trying to enter here with any preconceived notion at all. I'm trying to enter with an open mind to all things. They wouldn't let me in. See what you just did. I appreciate you for letting me inside.
Well, I put up the panel, like people, they porn bomb and shit. So like, see what they have to say.
I don't mean that. I mean you actually. I asked a flat earther. I was trying to understand him better. He wouldn't let me inside. I said, please. I said, I just want to understand you. Please let me inside your realities and tell me your belief system. And
well, I mean, I'm willing to do that. I mean,
he was.
I'll let you inside my realities, Baja.
Not willing. He was very. He got aggressive. He was like, I don't know why. He just did not want me to live. He did not want.
The reality is my asshole.
Want to engage with me. I said, listen, even though I don't understand it, I'm trying to, and can you bring me into your
Yeah, I'm too tired to be streaming. This is a bad call.
Your reality here, tell me where you're coming from, like you just did. Like you told me what you believe in. This man was unable to do that, and because of that, I kind of associated the flat earthers or whatever, and I stigmatized them in a way, because I said, if this man's not even willing to let me into his reality to attempt
Sume says, and people say I'm horny. Hannah is top tier tonight.
To understand him, me being a Christian, traditional Christian, how can I ever understand if I have ears to listen, but if you won't tell me, then
Yeah, no, I'm
I have
willing
no
to do
idea.
that. That's kind of why.
Jesus Christ. Those guys just ramble for, like, that stream went on for 5 hours. Just so everyone knows, the stream goes on for
Egg shape.
5
Egg,
hours.
concave.
5 hours, 40
Pear-shaped.
minutes.
Definitely not. If you don't want to ban them, that's up to you. I'm just telling you. I was doxxed.
Jesus Christ. What else we got?
I think the time has arrived for us to do the right thing. This is a moral and ethical decision. We're talking about scientists creating human embryos for the purpose of exploiting them and destroying them.
Our administration believes that there are loopholes that could allow the cloning of human beings if the technology were developed.
Tonight, I ask you to pass legislation to prohibit the most egregious abuses of medical research, human cloning in all its forms.
Therefore, today I am issuing a directive that bans the use of any federal funds for any cloning of human beings.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's Donut. Thank you so much for tuning in to this exclusive Patreon documentary about the Illuminati human clones. The year was 1997, and 42nd U.S. President Bill Clinton, Vice President, and several medical advisors announced a ban on federal funding for human cloning, but allowing private corporations to continue cloning ad infinitum.
Effective immediately, no federal agency may support, fund,
We'll do a bingo check after this.
or undertake such activity. Of course, a great deal of research and activity in this area is supported by private funds. I'm asking for a voluntary moratorium on the cloning of human beings.
In today's video, we're going to be covering human cloning, deep underground military bases, the Clinton and Epstein connection to human cloning,
Clinton's on the bingo
UFO,
card,
alien cloning cults, and much, much more. People have been trying to pass bans on human cloning since 1997, but Congress will never allow it to pass. Human cloning has been around since 1938.
No, we still can't clone humans successfully.
Governments have advanced technology which outdates what we see by decades.
Outdates? I don't think that'd be the correct word.
A lot of these technologies are alien technologies. There are no United States federal
Aliens.
statutes against cloning.
Do you say federal statues?
Cloning to produce,
You know, like Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial, federal statues.
genetically identical copies of a biological entity. The Human Cloning Prohibition Act of 2001. Congress passed a bill to ban cloning, but 43rd U.S. President George Bush would never sign it into law after it went through Congress, even though he expressed a concern for human cloning. Why is that? After a UFO cult called the Reptilians, a cult that believes humans descended from aliens and that cloning will make them godlike, immortal.
Those people we need to get to another day, because those people are wackadoo.
They created a corporation called Clonaid. They made a huge announcement that they have successfully cloned humans.
Which they never provided evidence for because it absolutely did not happen. Daddy Sume says, go home, Hannah, you're drunk. I mean lame. You're lame. You're lame!
Politicians in Congress were worried that banning cloning would lead to the banning of therapeutic cloning. And therapeutic cloning provides new cells for the New World Order elite to stay immortal and young. Therapeutic cloning involves creating a cloned embryo for the sole purpose of producing embryonic stem cells with the same DNA as the donor cell. This is the reason why this never gets signed by any sitting US president. But whistleblowers will argue that that's not the only case for them to ban these practices. The reason why is because they're doing human cloning experiments in deep underground military bases, also known as dumps, for the elites to reset the aging clock in cloned cells, which they use to stay immortal and for other selfish reasons. A movie called Boys from Brazil goes into this in deep detail about how they cloned Adolf Hitler and made about 10 Adolf Hitler clones.
Why? For what purpose?
There is a lot.
We don't even need one Hitler.
A lot of movies and propaganda that have been exposing what is really going on, these whistleblowers. There's also a movie called The Island in 2000.
The Island is a fictional movie with Ewan McGregor that's so-so. You know what I call The Island? An FX movie. Because it's the kind of movie that plays in the middle of like a Sunday on the channel FX. And you're like, The Island, I saw that once in 2003. Sure, I'll put this on and barely pay attention to it while I scroll on my phone. I do own The Island on Blu-ray.
2005. The truth is always stranger than fiction. The elites are cloning replicas of themselves to become immortal and for other selfish purposes. Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch, where Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton vacationed, coincidentally,
and only Bill Clinton. Don't look at Donald Trump, though.
Is where
Chromatic Cuttlefish says 1 millihitler equals the unit of megalomania needed to believe your Reich will last for 1 year. That's pretty good.
Jeffrey Epstein hoped to seed human race with his DNA. Epstein was used by the New World Order to blackmail scientists to carry out the New World Order agenda to harvest human clones of the elite.
That doesn't even make sense. A clone isn't you. Like, it's someone who is genetically identical to you in a hypothetical, but even then it's not going to be exact. But, like, broadly speaking, yes, it's genetically identical to you, but it's not you. It's like having a baby twin. It's not you. It's just another human who has the same genes as you. You don't live forever. It's a different person. Sume says, seed us with his DNA.
Or the elite. To harvest their organs, growing them in cows as a carrier for their embryos. By taking 2 cells from the original retained a fertilized egg and using a womb of a cow or one of the elite's MK Ultra mind-controlled sex slaves for the fertilized egg to grow. George Siddell of Colorado State University spoke about how human cloning is easy after July 5th, 1996.
No, it's not. I've talked to Baha about this. The fact that Dolly even worked was a miracle. Dolly was like the 200th attempt or something like that. Like, we cannot human clone. Even doing this again would be difficult. Decades later. Citosaurus says, evidence, please. Where's your evidence, smart guy? You just pulled this out of your ass. Evidence or shut the fuck up. Lenin Cat says, if Epstein and the elites were cloning humans, why would they also need to have trafficked children for their adrenochrome? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Chromatic Cuttlefish says, also, these people rant on and on about how symbolism will be their downfall, then go on to try and convince us of the existence of something with the acronym DUMB with a straight face.
After they successfully cloned their first sheep named Dolly. Dolly is the first mammal clone from an adult somatic cell using the process.
Dolly was the 277th try, according to Baha, who is a geneticist.
Of nuclear
a developmental geneticist.
Transfer. Nuclear transfer is a form of cloning by removing the DNA from an unfertilized egg and injecting the nucleus, which contains the DNA to be cloned. George Seidel expressed all that would need to be done to clone a human is using someone's eggs in someone's womb for implantation of the cloned embryos. Now, this topic of human cloning, yes, the elite and governments have been cloning since 1938 for stem cell research, therapeutic cloning, so they can be immortal and live forever and corporations based out of Canada.
What is this jump from cloning to living forever? That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
With the UFO cult, the Reptilians, because it's part of their religion. But
like, even if hypothetically, let's say you could do a perfect brain transplant, you could make a cloned body of yourself at whatever your ideal age is, and it doesn't have a brain, or you don't care, and you have them remove that brain and put your brain into that body, your brain still ages. So even if you had a body that's like the body of a 25-year-old, your brain is still the brain of an 80-year-old, if that's how old you were. Like, you're still fucked. Like, we are meat. We are meat that thinks. And we get to think. You know, a lot of meat doesn't get to think, but we're the thinking meats, okay? That's special. We get to think for maybe 70, 80 years, and then we're just rotting meat, okay? You can't try and meat forever. Meat isn't meant to be forever. I don't know where I'm going with this. We're meat.
Cloning goes even deeper. In this part of the video, we're going to talk about cloned meat sandwiches, how the FDA has put cloned animal meat in all of our supermarkets.
What?
We have been consuming.
Do you know how expensive cloned meat would be? Prohibitively so.
Animal clones for decades. In 2008, the Food and Drug Administration approved that milk and meat from clones of cows, pigs, and the offspring.
It being approved doesn't mean it exists. It means that they're saying if this ever happens, we'll allow it. But it doesn't, because that would be prohibitively expensive and not something that would be reliable.
Of clones from any species traditionally consumed as food are safe to eat, sell, and make a profit, allowing your supermarkets to be full of cloned animal meat. And scientists can't distinguish a cloned animal and a naturally bred animal.
See, to me that sounds like, okay, then it seems like there's no difference, so what are you even worried about? Again, we're talking hypothetically here in the scenario he is concocted.
There are no requirements by the FDA to label that your meat that you're eating has been cloned.
0 brands of meat are cloning their meat. Do you know how expensive a pound of ground beef would be if it was from a cloned cow? Why the fuck would you care? Like, what? No, no one is cloning your supermarket meats. Tea with Goblin says, making lunch meat out of genetically engineered human doppelgangers sounds like a cloney to me. Someone says, I wanted to ask you, I think other peeps might benefit from the answer. Trans question, I had my electrolysis appointment, and it turns out it's going to cost $300. I was told they were going to inject local anesthetic and do my whole left cheek. Does this sound like a bad deal? Should I look elsewhere? Yeah, if they can do local anesthetic, that doesn't honestly sound so bad. Do you know how long the session would be? Or just the entire everything? Because, like, I do an hour. I don't go by section. My electrologist goes by the hour or time. 2 hours? Yeah, that's not terrible, honestly. Like, it's a little expensive, but you're getting local anesthetic. I've never gotten any sort of, like, anything for that, for electrolysis. I've only ever had topical analgesic. So I don't think that's necessarily crazy. It's expensive getting electrolysis. But I don't know. It never hurts to shop around, but I don't think that sounds outrageous initially. I don't think that sounds, like, crazy. Mr. Whiskers says, can we call me at from a clone mine so when I eat a clone steak and can describe it as a thick and juicy moan? What? Meat. There we go. Typos. I saw the mammoth meatball.
They are cloning animals for you to eat. The Boyloff Group clones in China, cloning up to 1 million cows a year. They are in
No, they're not.
business with a South Korean company.
Like, what would be the benefit? I don't understand what they think the benefit would be to cloning cows. Why? You wouldn't benefit. It wouldn't be cheaper. It's more expensive. Even you say that there's no, in your hypothetical, that there's no distinguishing.
Called SOAM, a corporation that is connected with the Chinese Academy of Science, and this is all for cloning purposes. Australia, Canada, Argentina, and Brazil also clone livestock. Viagen is a company.
When I get electrolysis on my privates, I don't get anesthetic. I have a topical analgesic. I do not have... No, they don't inject anything.
That clones cats and dogs and other animals. This is big business and has been happening for a long time. They do scientific medical research on rats and mice and rodents because any biological effect, anything that affects a rodent, like a mouse.
Oh shit, I did forget you changed your fucking name. I'm sorry.
Or a rat is exactly how the human characteristics and biological behavior reacts
I'm bad
as well.
at my job.
We are so much similar to mice and rat. That's why 95% of all studies, medical studies, are done on mice and rats, according to the Foundation of Biomedical Research, because anything done to them is the exact same thing what would happen to a human. Mice can be cloned from other mice at infinity using nuclear transfer, which means humans can be cloned from other humans at
No, it doesn't.
infinitum using nuclear transfer. The first human cloned embryo was cloned October 13th, 2001. They call this therapeutic cloning as a loophole to allow them to clone humans, saying it's therapeutic cloning for people who can't have kids. The UFO cloning cult.
Baha says she hates this man.
The Reptilians are a cult that believes that aliens are God and cloning will bring them closer to God and make them God-like. The year was 1997 when the Reptilians launched Clonade, a Canadian corporation registered in the Bahamas for human cloning. In 2002,
timed out for 10 minutes for that shit. Jesus Christ.
the corporation produced their first clone named Eve. This is why Bill Clinton had to tell the world that federal funding will end for cloning, but private companies like Clonade and Epstein's Zorro Ranch can continue with the mission.
Does he not understand that, like, the reason that, like, Bill Clinton and the executive decided to do the cloning thing is because that's one of the things they have direct power over is federal funding for, like, research and stuff? They can't unilaterally ban cloning. I would imagine if Bill Clinton had the choice, he would have unilaterally banned cloning. But you can't... The president can't just say, cloning everywhere is illegal. What he does have is the ability to use his executive power to exercise force through sort of the wallet of the government, saying, we're not gonna fund research for people who do this, for institutions that do this. He doesn't have the power to ban it outright. It's not a loophole, it's just how the government works.
George Green.
Like, that would have to be like a legislation or something like that.
A whistleblower who exposed the deep underground military bases cloning humans states that he was going to be the next finance chairman for the next sitting U.S. president. But after Ted Kennedy asked to have sexual relations with his 14-year-old daughter, he stopped working with the elites. He also told the world the U.S. has been cloning people since 1938, and the scientists that have been doing it call these clones the others. Donald Marshall's message to the world. Donald Marshall told the world he was cloned by secret societies.
And he was a liar.
Like the Illuminati and the Vril Alien societies. Please watch the Vril Alien documentary down below. It's the first documentary that we released on this Patreon page. Go watch that to learn more. His picture is on the Megadeth album cover released in 2001, The World Needs a Hero.
He claims that.
Exposes a lot of these operations going into detail, how they do conscious transfer to the clones.
For those who don't know, this guy claimed that he was a clone and that he wrote like every hit song of the last 30 years. Like he literally was like, I wrote every #1 hit song of like the last 30 years. And we covered that before, and I went down a list, and he was talking all about how like he was in pain constantly and being whipped every day and being tortured. And I was just going through the list of like, here are the songs he wrote while under this horrible torture. And on the list was Walk Like an Egyptian, which, just saying, under torture, not bad. All the old paintings on the tomb, they do the same dance, don't you know? Yeah, they move too quick. Oh, way, oh, they're falling down like the domino. If you play that song backwards, fun fact, it says, help, I'm a clone trapped in a facility. They won't let me stop writing.
And many more details. He tells us via conscious transfer, they can transfer their memory into the new clone.
How? What's a conscience in this case? Like, how is your consciousness being transferred? Your consciousness is literally... We don't even really know, but, like, it's certainly the brain. It's chemistry and electricity in the brain. It's your brain meats. Sorry, my alarm's going off. It's your brain meats, okay? You can't transfer it. You are a physical being. You are physical. You can't transfer that.
Do these clones have a soul? The soul weighs 20 grams.
No, it doesn't. Stop.
When someone dies, they lose 20 grams in their body when they die. Is this the soul leaving? And do these clones have souls? Now let's go into Illuminati celebrity clones. There's a lot of different reasons to clone. The therapeutic cloning, so these elites can live longer. Also, cloning replicas of politicians and world leaders so they can...
When I was in science class in high school, that soul weighing experiment was used as an example of, like, basically we were told how experiments are supposed to work, and we were told about that experiment, and then told, and we were told that, sorry, I'm blanking all of a sudden. Oh, and we were told, like, hey, come up with other alternative explanations for this experiment, or what they could have done incorrectly, or whatever. So,
go into dangerous situations, and if they get murdered or killed, it doesn't really matter. It's just their clone. But celebrities are more powerful than ruled.
Yeah, I saw Illuminati shouted me out on someone's show recently, which I appreciated.
Leaders and politicians. Michael Jackson was so powerful. Prince, so powerful. Drake, so powerful. These artists can gather a huge crowd that somebody like Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton couldn't, because they have so much influence. Once they reach a level of power and status, they have to be controlled opposition. And by cloning these celebrities, they are able to have them preach what the agenda is for the next century. The movie Us is a perfect example of the deep underground military bases holding clones of people.
Oh, he knows he's basically doing the plot to okay, all right.
As we see in that movie, there's
I liked Us. I was gonna say Occult Comics. It feels weird. No, I'll use your new name. I can't do that. I can't call it just because I forget. Cassifel V2. Thank you for the Black's Law Dictionary request. What would you like me to look up?
clones of everybody living in these underground bases. This is just a good example. Movies are perfect for our subconscious minds to understand something. This is why The Matrix resonated with so many people, because movies and art speak to our subconscious mind. So do books, comics, art, all this speak to our subconscious mind that our logical mind can't understand.
Soul or clone? Okay, I'll try clone, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to show up in here. I guess unless it has an older meaning, you know? No clone. Sad face. Alright, let's do another one nearby then. Clear and present danger. The doctrine allowing the government to restrict the First Amendment freedoms of speech and press if necessary to prevent immediate and severe danger to interests that the government may lawfully protect. This test was formulated by Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes in Schenck versus United States, 249 U.S. 4739 SCT 247, 1919.
Other movies that have exposed this is the 2005 film The Island and Boys in Brazil. The Illuminati uses celebrities and world leaders as tools to brainwash the masses to carry out agendas for the century. Cloning is a way they can use body doubles for dangerous conflict situations with presidents and world leaders. It also comes handy for Manchurian candidates. They also clone celebrities when they become too powerful and famous, so they can use their clones for brainwashing. Dave Chappelle's first cousin says he's a clone. After Dave Chappelle hit such a high level of fame, he also came out on interviews exposing the Illuminati, and he wouldn't make the big multi-million-dollar contract with the Illuminati, and he told them no, and then he disappeared to Africa. The theory is that he was murdered and a clone took his place. Look at these images of before and after.
People age. People look different at different times in their life.
It looks just like the before and after pictures of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
Elon Musk got hair plugs.
How they look real skinny, they look totally different, their facial structure is different. Britney Spears, after MK Ultra mind control meltdown, made videos which seemed as if she was exposing the cloning operation. In her music video Break the Ice and Hold It Against Me, it shows these cloning operations, as well as her song Mona Lisa stating she's been cloned.
What are metaphors?
In 2001, there was a rumor that Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were in a car crash. And since this car crash, they died and they're actually clones now. Slim Shady video depicts the Illuminati cloning station as well.
No, it doesn't.
And recently, an MK Ultra assassin attempted to kill him because he stopped doing the Illuminati agenda with his one album, which just talked about Satan and drugs and how great it is, and now he's sober and he's talking more about higher power and stuff like that. That is not part of the Illuminati agenda, and that's why I believe the MK Ultra assassin attempted to kill him. In 2006, people believe he was replaced by an android. Here's footage of him glitching.
Wait, why an android? Why not a clone?
On ESPN in 2013. Celebrity clones have been exposing these operations via their music videos and interviews. Tila Tequila has also came out public saying she was a robotoid
Tila Tequila has legit gone completely bonkers.
clone.
Like, I don't know if she was ever the most stable person in the world, but holy shit, it's all been downhill since the MySpace days.
after the huge corporations gave her a massive deal. Gucci Man, after he was arrested for murder charges and breaking his probation and hitting such a high level of fame, he got put in prison.
Excuse me, sir, I believe it's Gucci Mane.
But many believe that he was murdered and the new Gucci Man is a clone. Look at these before and after pictures. Is this the same guy? Rapper Kid Blue claims he is a clone. MTV shows normalizing and brainwashing the idea of clones in shows like Game of Clones. Avril Lavigne in 2002. Rumors say that she was dyed and replaced. Before and after photos show different.
She was dyed?
Marks of her body.
How did no one catch that in editing? In the writing process, no one was like, she was dyed? Who wrote this?
Body in an altered shape of her nose and face, just like Eminem and Gucci Mane. Reports stating
that time he said it right. Someone corrected him. It was me.
Beyonce died in 2000 and replaced by a clone, and she is a known Illuminati member with her husband.
Is it known?
Husband Jay-Z. Post Malone and Justin Bieber are from the same stem cells of human clones. If you pitch down...
What? That doesn't even make sense. Stem cells are like cells that become other cells. Like they're not determined yet. What do you mean they came from the same stem cells?
Justin Bieber's voice, it sounds just like Post Malone, and if you pitch up Post Malone's voice, it sounds just like Justin Bieber.
Wow, guys, did you know that some people sing alike except for their pitch, which you can change digitally? Crazy.
Bieber. This also goes into the Church of Satan with Taylor Swift. Zena LeVay, a high priestess of the Church of Satan, and this was reported in a pop magazine called 17, the priestess of this Church of Satan from 1985 to 1990, just 1 year before Taylor Swift was born.
The hard-hitting journalism in 17 magazine.
Look very similar. The truth is stranger than fiction.
These two people look similar. Coincidence? I think not.
What are your thoughts? Please put your comments down below, and I hope everybody has a great day. God bless you.
Well, that sucked. That sucked. My Catholic Red Pill is the name of this channel. Oh, boy. Okay, I guess I'm gonna save this channel, because that's nuts. Is that Willy Wonka? It's Willy
Wonka. The narcissistic alter personalities require.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look at the bingo card. Recording in car. Was PSYOP done? I'm not sure. Chemtrails. Word salad. Believe sci-fi tech actually exists. Did we have King Trump? Okay. QAnon is the source. Clintons. Illuminati. Did we have reptilians already? We did, I think. Jesus. Aliens. Baja Blasts. Oh, I already got that one. Cool. iMiracle, thanks for 20 months. Clones. Hannah's so exasperated. Cat makes a guest appearance. Holographic and or fake sun. God damn, we got a lot today. Population control is a motive. I'll say weather control. Chris talked about making clouds. So, I'd say that counts. Accidentally based. Oopsie. Flat Earth. I don't think we had That's Not How Science Works. Like, was there a specific claim made about science? Flat Earth. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, doesn't understand how cameras work. I guess that's fair. Practical application of scientific experiments, sure. Doesn't understand how that's not how science works. Fair enough. We have not had thinly veiled anti-Semitism, I don't believe. Predictive programming also. I forgot to mark it, but it is. Dang it, I gotta pee again. I'm so sorry. So was it bingo? Who said bingo? Did they at me? Yeah, I didn't see it either. But it's possible. I miss a lot. Ooh, my back and neck and head and teeth hurt. Chat, fix me. Alright, what else we got? Oh, it was just someone getting a card. Got it. I have it.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Jack, alright? And I was wondering if I could ask you, just, what do you got there? Oh.
I'm saving delete laws for, Sovereign Citizen Day. Wow, my brain is fried.
Graham crackers in? Holy shit. Anyways, yeah. So, I was... Whoa. Just, wait, quick nibble. God damn. That's some good shit right there. All right. Okay, anyways. I need to ask you if you have seen my cousin. He's like a 4-foot tall lemur, all right? But anyways, his name's Julian, all right? He likes to call himself a King Julian. He likes to say, move it, move it. He owes me $1,000. Hey, how's it going? My name's Jack.
Billions of people have been body snatched, infected by some kind of alien demonic parasite. There is no doubt about this intelligence report. The only question is, what happens?
I'm sorry, what intelligence report?
Next. The world is being terraformed before our very eyes. The extermination has already begun. And the evidence is overwhelming. Many skeptics will laugh. Many of the controlled opposition will show up and say, this is nonsense. But essentially, this is confirmed. Billions of people have been body snatched by some kind of alien demonic parasite. It essentially lives inside people like some kind of shadow creature, and it communicates with others.
It genuinely feels like this person is trying to goad some mentally ill person into hurting other people. It's just psychotic.
With other parasites, like a hive. They're currently working to destroy humanity and to destroy the planet. That should be very obvious for everyone to see. Many people debate why this is happening. Is it Klaus Schwab? Is it Bill Gates? Is it the New World Order? And as soon as you start talking about aliens, people want to talk about something else. People want to make excuses for why this is not happening.
Billions of people have been body snatched. However, some of us have only had our brains removed.
But essentially, it has happened. We are living in some kind of science fiction movie, and it's only going to get worse. That's why it's important that all humans that are out there are aware of what's going on. You've probably had the suspicion that there's something wrong with the world. Is it the Matrix? Perhaps you've had the impression that you're being gang stalked.
Oh god, see what I mean? It's like he's intentionally trying to target people with paranoid delusions and ramp them up.
Is it the government?
Like, this doesn't seem like the ramblings of a crazy person as much as it seems like a sane person trying to use the right rhetoric to make a person with mental illness scared and want to take action. It's calculated.
No. Is it the New World Order? No. It is, in fact, a demonic alien invasion. And it looks like it's been going on for quite some time. And now that people are starting to become aware of what's going on, it looks like they're going to reset humanity.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Morgellons disease is found in almost everybody. And even if you don't have the symptoms, it's still within your body. I think they said it was 99% of people have some type of Morgellons on their skin, in their skin. I want to bring in Dave Hirsch, who has some information about Morgellons to share with us, and then we can just discuss that. Dave, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Okay, so what do you know about Morgellons?
Well,
This disease doesn't exist. Let's take a look. Morgellons. Morgellons disease is a condition characterized by a belief that parasites or fibers are emerging from the skin. People with this condition often report feeling as if something is crawling on or stinging their... So it's not... I see. It's a mental... They don't think that, I would imagine. But I see. It's a catch-all for people having delusions about parasites being in and under their skin. Gotcha. Psychosomatic. That's the word. Thank you.
Let me start kind of with my general
Yeah, I've seen the Project Bluebeam stuff.
description that I give people when they say, what's wrong with you? You don't look like anything's really wrong. I've had it, or it's been active. I think that's more. Some people say, well, you get it.
When I rip
or
my teeth
it's,
out.
They call it a, more of a disease, where I think it's active, and it's definitely in everybody.
Hey, Red Pill here. I just want to talk to you about a few things regarding chemtrails, neural ace, Morgellons, transhumanism.
Chemtrails on the bingo card.
The powers that be are really clever right now. They've got everybody distracted.
We have
by,
that already, actually.
All this news going on with Trump and making America great again, and everything that's non-essential that doesn't pertain to chemtrails, anything that's going to keep your focus away from what's really going on. So I want to show you something, even though everybody's all occupied with all this stupid news.
It's like the medical version of gang stalking.
About Trump being wiretapped and all this other guy. I mean, come on. The NSA is wiretapping everybody anyway. So what do people think that they're accomplishing here? Meanwhile, in the background, if you look up in the sky, okay, they're spraying chemtrails all over the place. Just a couple.
They're not. There's no such thing as chemtrails. What you're seeing are called contrails. They're the result of engines combusting as they make the plane fly.
Days ago, Harvard came out via the Guardian.
We didn't have thinly veiled anti-Semitism.
And said that they're going to go ahead and start spraying chemtrails in the sky. Just to do a study. So, because we've been pushing it to the fore for so long, they now can't avoid it. They can't deny it anymore. They have to talk about it. So they're going to come out and they're going to put their own spin on it. And they're going to try and make people think that it's just harmless water vapor and that they're just trying to do tests to keep us safe. You know how that goes when the government tries to keep us safe. You know what happens there. So I have found some new evidence, and I found some footage from a gentleman named Ulf Dietzerman. He calls himself the Wolfman of Montreal. And I put this clip in another video that I did, but it doesn't
I trust anyone who calls themselves the Wolfman of Montreal.
really match the title, so nobody would really
All right, get to the video. What the fuck? Hold on, what? So this guy found some stuff under a microscope and decided it's this fictional parasite.
This is current day evidence that what's being dropped on us out of the skies is
Oh, he thinks chemtrails are giving people parasites. That's a new one. That's interesting.
really is what Clifford Carnick
I've not heard that one before.
and
That's rare. I don't often get new conspiracy. I mean, it's still just a permutation of chemtrails, but I've never heard chemtrails are giving us parasites. That's pretty good.
Sophia.
It's not true, but it's interesting at least.
Yeah, small storm we're talking about just maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Alright, this guy's a little boring. He's interesting, but boring, if that makes sense. Alright, let's check out Ghost Lady. How's her ghost hunting going?
Alright, Spirit, I can see you. Yep. No, get down. Don't...
Get off her chandelier, you silly ghost.
No, you ain't playing that with me again. Thinking you're gonna be that big. Get down. Get down.
Stop being that big. Stop being that big.
Get down to size. Thank you. Okay. You know my dogs can see you. You stay the heck out of the bedroom, I told you. Yeah, you.
She's talking to a ghost. What does it look like she's doing?
2, 1, whatever is over there. Stay out of the bedroom. Get out of my dog's bowl. It's dog food. You hungry? You like the dogs? Okay. I've asked you before not to scare them. If you both of you or one of you spirits can show yourself at the same time, so I know how many are here. You, that big one. Okay. Isn't there a little one too? Is there a little one too? Yeah. Okay. There's 1 and 2 of you. Okay. Okay, there you go. Thanks. Okay. I thought there was 2. Okay, this one's trying to hide over me. Hide on me over there. Now you're there. Why don't you just show yourself? You're in the dog bed again. James, I know that's you.
I like that she not only believes her house is infested with ghosts, but it's apparently ghosts of people who are into pet play.
Dogs aren't gonna like that. Come out of there. Get out of the dog house. Come on out. Come out. James, get out of there.
For the love of God, Mr. Blast, if you're in chat, don't Google pet play. You must remain pure.
James, come on out. Get out of the doghouse. I'm going to come and see you. I know that's where he went. He's in there laying down.
Well, that was interesting. Mr. Blast called you daddy. He's not pure. He did do that. That's true. That's true. He did that once. Alright, it's been 3 hours, and my headache is killing me. A Tea with Goblins says there's a ghost in her dog food dish. Sounds like a boltergeist. Oh, fuck you, man. And Jamie says, woof. Here's my dog bark. How was it? I'm not into pet play, but if I was, I'd be a cat girl, not a dog girl, just to be clear. Get your hypotheticals right, chat. Hydrate. Alright, let's see who we're gonna raid. Jamie says, "Nya," or I guess I say it at the behest of Jamie. "Nya." Cirrus is on. Never raided Cirrus in a while. Yeah, why not? That sounds fun.
Full proof here.
Okay, have a good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow for probably more Chili DeCastro, delete laws, and other Sobsit stuff. I know I also wanted to do a Crypto Cringe stream soon because Red Ape Family episode 3 came out, their final episode, so we gotta get some stuff together for that. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Have a good night, everyone. I wanted to play my PlayStation VR, but I have a headache, so that's probably not a good idea. Go watch TV or something. Woo, maybe the headbands weren't helping. Woo. Alright, have a good night. Later. Later, skater. Yep, that's how the stream ends.